Alright, this will be our first experience in using Autodesk Inventor. We're going to create our puzzle parts with it. We are going to start in the Inventor environment, which looks like this. You will be clicking on the icon from the desktop. You'll see a little up here by the logo for Inventor. Find that on the desktop and double click it to open up this screen. We're gonna draw a part. Later we'll do an assembly and a drawing sheet, maybe a presentation as well, but we're gonna start today with just doing a part. You can click on part, that'll generate a new part, or you can go to File, New, Part. So I'm clicking on that, and what will pop up here once it loads is the area where we're going to do our work. I'm going to get this set up to look kind of like what it should look like when you guys get it. You'll see a bunch of tools across the top here, kind of an open gray area. This will be where our part is created. And then over here on the left, this is super important. This is called the browser. As we start to add to our drawing, more and more things will pop up over here, and I'll show you that as well. And the most important thing that we're going to be using here is basically generating a 2D sketch, and then we'll be using the 3D, and the 3D model tool, we'll be using the extrude tool for this first project. So the part that I'm going to draw, I'm going to show you what that is. I'm going to do my yellow part. So here's my block all glued up, and I have already created my multi-view drawing. And this is kind of important for you to understand. The front view, the right side view, and the top view. You guys should have this multi-view drawing as well as the isometric before you move into Inventor. So here's how we get started. Back in Inventor, I'm going to start by doing a 2D sketch. So I'm going to click 2D sketch, and this will pop up, and if I hover over the top of it, these little orange kind of three-dimensional rectangles will kind of turn green. This is called my XY plane. This is my YZ plane, and this is my XZ plane. So X, Y, and Z are the coordinates we're going to be referring to. And it's also, if I look at this plane, this is like if I was looking at this cube over here, my front view, my right view, and my top view. This should be familiar with how we set up our isometrics. So I'm going to click on this plane because I'm going to draw a 2D sketch on my front, from the front view. So I'm going to click the plane that corresponds with my front view. The screen will kind of rotate around and snap square with us, and then all of the tools change. So now these are kind of two-dimensional. I can draw rectangles or lines or whatever, and you'll see a dimension tool as well, because we've got to give these things proper dimensions. So I'm going to start with, I'll just start with a line tool. Let's look at the picture again. I have, this is a 1/2 inch by a 1/2 inch piece hanging out over the side, and then I have 2 more 1/2 inch blocks. So it's a total of 3 blocks going across and 2 blocks going up. So here's how I'm going to set this up. I'm going to use a line tool. So using my line tool, I'm going to click in the center to start my line, and then you can see it kind of hangs on. And as I stretch this line out, that number kind of gets bigger and smaller. So the blue highlighted box is able to be entered in with my numbers. So as I pull this thing this direction, it will snap to that line. You gotta be careful that it's not at a slight angle. Make sure it's sitting right on the line. Then I'm going to manually enter 1.5 because I had 3 blocks across, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. So 1.5 is what I'm going to enter into that spot, and you'll see the the thing went off of the edge of the screen. So using my mouse wheel, I'm going to scroll. I can scroll in and I can scroll out using my mouse wheel. I can also push the mouse wheel straight down with my finger like a button. I can push that wheel down and pan so I can move my part around. So scrolling will zoom in and out, and pushing the wheel down will allow you to drag it around. Left clicking will snap the line. We don't want to left click until we have it where we want it. So I'm going to go straight up, and notice it says 90 degrees, so it's 90 degrees straight up in the air, and I'm going to enter in 1 because it's 1 inch now in the vertical direction, 2 blocks high. Then I'm going to come straight over, and I'm going to enter in 1 inch because it's 2 blocks over. Then I'm going to come down, and I'm just kind of drawing that shape, 0.5 because I'm coming down 1 block. Then I'm going to go over 1 block, 0.5, and then I'm going to come back down, and it's going to turn green when I hit my mark, and I'm going to click, do a final left click on the mouse, and now I have the shape of my part. Okay, we're going to just focus on one shape at a time, and then we'll build off of it. So I'm going to finish this initial sketch, and you'll see it'll kind of snap back 3D, once again scrolling with my mouse and moving it over to see it. So this thing kind of now is oriented with the front view, and I'm going to go to this extrude 3D. So extruding is like pushing Play-Doh through a form. So when you extrude it and you hover over that area, this will extrude out. And then we have some things that we can enter here. I can change the direction that it extrudes, go back or in, or I can extrude in both directions from the center point. I'm going to stay with the original one and extrude out in this direction. And I'm going to extrude 1 block or 0.5 inches out in that direction. And I'm going to click OK. So there's my 3D part.